Woo! Live again. It feels like we were just at it.
Just yesterday, even.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Really
How's
does.
Grimm today on this fine and lovely day?
Pretty good.
Cool.
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I heard. I heard. How are you doing, you lovely folks out there?
Yeah, good to see you.
Know, it is good to see you guys. You know, you're looking good.
We can't see you, but
you look. No, pretend you can see them.
Oh, you guys look good out there.
If you're somewhere where you don't know where you are and it's dark, take a gander at the light. Where have I heard that before?
I don't know.
It's
like the most redneck fireflies around. That's Fireflies, Texas.
Could it be from the HBO series The Last of Us?
I think it is. Because that's what we're talking about, so it better
We are talking about episode 8. Correct?
Yes, sir. Episode 8. Almost to the season finale.
All right, so what's there to say about this show? This episode? It's good.
Yep. Yeah.
It's good.
It's definitely good.
That's all we have.
Yeah. So thanks for joining
Thanks
us.
for stopping by. Hit the likes, hit the subscribes and stuff like that. You know the drill. Okay.
Yeah.
We enjoy your time. Have a good night, guys. No. For reals though, for absolute reals, we got lots to talk about here.
We do.
All right. But we can't talk about it unless we give a little bit of a spoiler alert. All right. We got to give that spoiler alert because, we don't want to ruin anything. I mean, this was a week ago. We're fired up for the last episode.
I can't wait.
All right.
I'm looking forward to the end of the story.
I'm not looking forward to it ending.
No.
But knowing that we're going to get a second season for sure, it's got to make you feel good. All right. Can you hear my fan in the mic at all?
No.
I think I might turn it off just for sniggles. Okay. I was going to say something else.
So it's going to be a really fun show. There goes Dan. I love his pajama pants. They're so stylish.
Because you guys know.
Bitch, he's stylish.
How much
top, big t-shirt.
Yeah, you guys know how much quality is important to the Nerdy Couch show. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's just get into her.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little high.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up in front of the kids,
mm-hmm.
and the folks.
Yeah.
But you're high.
Yeah.
Now, can you want to? Is there a backstory to that?
Well, so a while ago I hurt my shoulder. I was in a sling for a while, but that made it so I was using the other hand a lot to lift and do whatever. And I was cleaning today, and while I was lifting the couch, apparently there's some tendonitis in this arm as well, and it hurts a lot. So I had to take some muscle relaxer and a few other things, and now I'm a little spacey.
A little high on life now.
Mm-hmm.
Laura can't wait till the next episode. We've got a very special actor playing Ellie's mom. But we'll get to that next episode.
That's right.
We don't want to get into it too much. Hey, Monica, how's it going? Welcome.
Thanks for joining us.
I feel like before we go on, we have to acknowledge something.
Yes.
Okay. And that is we have a kind of a fallen comrade right now.
Right.
Our producer is out of commission due to not one, but two wisdom teeth being pulled out. Ouch.
Yeah.
All right. I know what that's
never
like.
Feels good.
Never good. So this is just a, hope you feel better soon kind of clip. All right. We do hope you feel better soon. We miss you on the show.
Mostly we miss the studio, but
well, we also miss having someone to fully produce the show.
That's right.
It's it's a big deal. All right.
Yeah, it is.
Don't tell her how much we appreciate that. It's just not. It goes to her head. Trust me.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna start off this episode in Silver Lake. Oh, Laura's got her own groovy pills.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we've all got our own little selective, jar of groovy pills. Anyway, that's not what this show is about. Okay, this is
professional thing.
Professional. Here. All right. Silver Lake is where we're starting. What a beautiful town.
I like this. I like that panoramic. It looked really nice.
All right. What a beautiful town.
Or is it?
It's a just every beautiful town has its secrets.
Yes.
Okay. Specifically in Todd's Steakhouse.
That's like, it's very wrong feeling to be that it's Todd's Steakhouse that we're going into here.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance, just be weary about eating at a place like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Because if you ever are at like a steakhouse and you meet this guy,
David.
Meet David, who likes long walks on the beach, scary movies,
yeah,
and the occasional cannibalism.
Well, do what you got to do, I guess, right?
Now this is a side by side of our HBO David and our game David. I do believe there's another character that's actually in this episode that I think looks more like the original David, and that's the cook.
The cook? Yeah.
The cook looked a lot like game David, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it.
But he did a great job with it. This character comes off more likable at the start.
Yeah.
Than he does in the game. And he comes off, he's telling people that he's a pastor or a preacher and stuff like that. And it almost seems like he's going to be a decent guy.
It did feel like that. Like you wanted to trust him, but...
Yeah. I mean, you knew you couldn't because you played the game.
Right. But if you haven't, what a surprise you're in for if you haven't played the game.
But yeah, like we said, he was posing as a preacher in the steakhouse. They've got a little church kind of setup, community hall church style thing. And this banner in particular is, there's a comparison from the game. We see this banner in, is it Cowboy Jack's is what the place is called in the game by the looks of it. But a very similar scene. Right?
Yeah, it feels pretty close.
So, yeah, like again, the game similarities and the similarities from the game are just stellar. I mean, they always have been, right from the get-go.
One of the kind of bigger changes, I guess, is that this is more religious culty, right? It's not.
Yeah, it appears that way. I kind of almost liked him right up until he smacked that girl. Right? And then you were like, okay, this is the guy he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Another character that we were introduced to, and this is actually really cool.
Yes.
Because James is played by Troy Baker, which we all know played Joel in the game. It's pretty awesome that they're putting these connections in.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot that they did so much work on putting in a bunch of the game characters into the show, even if they weren't playing who they voiced and stuff like that. It's been fun.
It's cool because you got to imagine that the actors actually enjoyed being a part of the show. Having I know that some of the actors in the game were pretty passionate about being in the game and their roles in the game. So
And again, I'm gonna probably say the same things. Like these two actors, James and David, phenomenal job. Like they played the parts so well, and the fact that David was so likable at the start, I think, really elevated his evil. Once we get to see it,
it made it more creepy than it did in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the game, it was just like, oh, this guy's just a bad guy.
Yeah.
Whereas in the show, David was a decent guy that had its secrets.
Yeah.
Which is creepier than just a guy who's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? So like there's more depth to the character. Is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah.
So Joel, or not Joel, but James seems conflicted at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not sure what they're doing is kind of like the right thing, or they're on the right path or not.
But David's got like a god complex.
Oh yeah,
right.
For sure.
Like he even refers to the one girl. He says he refers to her as or him as her father, right?
Yeah.
Which is there's a sadistic level to that because her father is passed, and now he sits down at their table with them
to eat
him essentially.
Yeah, it's that. I think the big piece of that scene was that you realize that he served up her father and that woman's husband.
Yeah,
and it was just awful.
Yeah, there's like a sadistic level to it that you don't get in the game.
And that's just after he like cuffs her off her chair and stuff, right? And we get to see in that scene too that he's the one getting like these larger portions of the food and stuff too. So.
Oh yeah. So food is getting low, and they need to go out and do some hunting. At the same time, Ellie, after checking in on Joel, has to go hunting. In the game, this is a big scene.
Yeah.
They don't play it out as long. Of course, again, it's a TV series and not a game.
Right.
We can all understand that, right? But she's got to go out and she's got to make the foods.
Make the foods. Yeah.
Yeah. But she does, just like in the game, she tags a deer.
She also tags that rabbit.
Yeah, that white rabbit, which in the other episode, she steals the white rabbit. A lot of things seem to come full circle in this.
When I think she kills that particular rabbit too when she first goes out hunting, doesn't she?
In the game?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so. This time she falls on her ass.
Yeah.
So not as much luck, but she does tag a deer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like in the game, she's got to track it down by following the red stuff. All right. By following the red stuff. The wine. All right. And at the very same time, so are the other two, and they cross paths. Ellie, very stern.
Yeah, she's trying to present as like a strong badass in front of these guys so that she can get
I mean, she has to hold up because, she even lies about being part of a group.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And she has to make herself appear dangerous. Okay. She does have the gun. I like. Yeah. I like how when she has them drop the guns and she sends is it Jake? James.
Huh? James, she sends out.
But
Yeah.
she sends James off because she's going to make a deal. Half the deer for some penicillin.
Yep.
Okay, and this is another time where I think that we're reminiscing other shows again, because guess what?
What?
In The Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
the word dad was used.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? And in this, father is used.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. This is the same show. All right? It's just crossed over.
I like in this this scene here when she gets them to move away from the guns and everything, and she's pretty adept at this point in rifle use, obviously, because she pops the cartridge and pulls the single shot out and all that stuff.
Yeah, she makes sure that to disarm the weapons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think, a nice touch. It shows that she's a little seasoned, at least.
Yeah, she's a survivor. She's
right?
Not going to give up.
She's a survivor. While they wait, we might as well go inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Cute little shack.
It's. I don't know how cute it is. Okay. I mean, it's more homey than the one in the game.
Yeah.
All right. I like how she makes him drag the thing inside.
Well, not going to help him.
All right. Grab that. We'll go inside and stuff.
In this
and
part,
this
I was complaining to Teresa that they're not bleeding out the deer so it doesn't spoil the meat.
Yeah. I don't. That's on David, I think. Like, I don't think that Ellie is at that point in her hunting career.
Oh, well.
Right. Well, he is under a little bit of pressure, having a gun at his face.
Yeah.
But this is where he tells his tale. Right.
Mm-hmm. Makes it sound pretty good too, and we do get to hear about the Pittsburgh QZ stuff too.
Yeah.
That we missed out on a bit with Henry and Sam stuff.
Yeah, I mean the Henry and Sam stuff just kind of took place in a different area.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's still there. It's just, they had some liberty with the locations and stuff like that, and the timeline just a little bit, I think. Yeah. Which is fine. It works just fine for the show. Should we mention the great acting?
I think
in this show.
Probably.
Wonderful acting. Okay.
No, it was so good.
He spins a tale. He does such a great job with this.
He really does. Like, because we're still kind of, if you're just picking up the show and not the game, like, you would still have no idea how bad he is.
Yeah.
And in this scene, it kind of makes him feel like he is potentially a good guy.
Yeah, right up until the point where his story starts to turn into, we're looking for you.
Yeah, because that's kind of weird.
Your father, right? It starts to get like creepy-esque, and then he starts to sound ominous.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. And just what a great job telling that story, and then the plot kind of twisting and turning. Right, until to the point where she doesn't even notice that James is back.
Yeah, and already drawn a gun.
Yeah, lower your weapons and stuff. Ending the story like that, just a cool transition.
Mm-hmm.
And then James is like he's not a fan of this trade.
No. And I mean, I think he already wants the both of them dead, right? From the previous issue that they've had where Joel killed one of theirs.
Yeah, and when we speak about Joel killing one of theirs, this is the guy who he strangled out. Well, he got stabbed by the baseball bat.
Right.
Right. So now we're seeing, like, this whole episode, we're seeing more of the motive behind these characters that we don't really get to see a ton of motive behind in the game.
Which is nice, again.
And that's what this show has done, really, too. They've taken characters that you don't really get to know a lot about, and they've shone a little bit of light on them, some more than others, but always kind of enhancing those characters.
Yeah.
Right?
In preparation to kill them.
In preparation H.
In preparation to kill them. Preparation H.
But yeah, they do. In this scene, you do see he's got the drugs there.
Yep.
And David tells him, give her the drugs. And they end up letting her go. Right? Again, James is not a fan of this idea. We're just going to let her go. This is just going to cause us more trouble.
But off she goes.
Off she goes. All right.
So with how well she's kind of coming into her own, I was a little surprised she didn't, try and dust her tracks or something to hide where she was going.
I think at this point, her concern is more on Joel and the hastiness that's going to require to save him.
That's fair.
Right? Like, I think when you're in panic mode, sometimes you forget those small details. But she does get back to Joel, and she's trying to fix him up.
Yeah. I liked the fact that she didn't know where to jam him either, like where to.
Yeah, she's not a nurse. Now this is a scene from the game because it was very hard to find a scene where she was doing this.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, the transition is like seamless. Like you wouldn't know it half the time, like if you weren't paying attention, right? And then she snuggles down with him, and I think this is a really good depiction of how she's feeling right now and how she does see him as family.
Well, that's her safe space. That's all she's got at this point.
Well, and that has been her safe space, right? That's let's be fair. It's the only comfort she has, right? Are you paying attention, Stoner Boy?
Yeah. Good show.
I know you can't stop with the popcorn.
I wasn't gonna eat it while I was on, but
you can't resist, though, can you?
I need a couple of handfuls. I've almost eaten the bag, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if we've ever done a show with Stoner Grimm. You're so focused. So they David and James theft the deer.
Yeah.
Okay, grand theft deer. And they take it back. The group is less than impressed.
Because they're starving and everybody's losing hope, really.
They're not aware that some of the food that they're eating, a gentleman comes in with this, and I'm going to call this questionable meat.
Well, yeah, because when they're cooking this up, that's before they were, like just after they get back with the venison. So I don't think that's the venison yet. That's got to be that girl's dad.
Yeah. Could it be people stew?
Oh, it's definitely people stew.
Yeah, you're right. The cameos from the voice actors have been just brilliant.
Just give me a second, because a whole bunch of comments just popped. Like, it wasn't populating, apparently. So.
Oh, wow. Were the comments not populating?
No.
Well, then let's get to them real quick.
David gave her chills. Incredible actor. Absolutely. Did a phenomenal job. Once again, if there's one thing that
were the
comes
comments
out of this show,
were the comments not populating, or were you lagging
I could have been lagging.
due to your conditions?
I'm not lagging. They just showed up.
There's a good chance you were lagging.
The rifle she was holding was real and so heavy that she actually pulled her muscles holding it up for so long. That's
so that scene, okay, where the muscle or that you're talking about. Let's see if we can get that picture back up. This one specifically is the one I think she's talking about.
Yeah.
And they said that the gun was heavy for her, and the actors kind of played it off like that was like supposed to be happening type deal, right?
Which is good because, I mean, it adds that touch of realism that we need too, right?
That's because it's real, dude.
This is the future.
They don't act anymore. They just do it.
Why am I eating? Because I'm hungry.
Well, I think we've addressed the why are you eating. It's because you're a pill popper.
Only when I need to.
You know, for good reason, though. We do not in any way condone the usage of illegal drugs.
Or not illegal drugs, but in recreation.
The odd bit of cocaine, but...
Don't do cocaine.
You know.
Don't illegally use legal drugs either.
Substances. You know?
Don't abuse them.
Substance abuse is not okay. All right? Now you know. Okay. Moving along. So where were we? So Ellie...
They bring the party back.
Yeah, well, Ellie gets home and she patches Joel up and stuff like that. And she's out doing her chores almost. You know, she's got
having a look around.
Having a look around. She's making the horse a little drink. You know, I don't know how safe that is. I think that actually dehydrates things.
Yeah, you gotta let it melt out.
Right. But she notices that their crew is coming back. She hops on the horse and she takes off. Right. But this is where
I loved when she ran back into the basement and was shaking Joel awake and stuff.
Well, yeah, because she's got to make Joel aware that something's happening, right? And then she gives him the knife.
Yeah.
Puts it on his chest, right? She's touring off, and the most terrible thing happens.
Yep.
Swift wind has fallen.
That's right.
If you know where swift wind is from, then let me know in the comments.
Yeah, pop it in.
Pop it in where the name Swift Wind comes from. Yeah, very emotional when the horse dies for me. When animals die in shows, it's like 10 times worse for me.
What about Neverending Story?
Neverending Story, you can't even talk about Neverending Story.
Like when Artak sinks in the swamp.
Yeah, I know. You can't.
So sad.
Frowny face. All right. Ultimately, though, she goes flying off the horse and passes out. She's picked up and she's taken back to
El Dorado.
El Dorado. Yes, she's taken back to El Dorado. The Road to El Dorado, by the way, one of the most fantastic animated shows or movies. All right, go watch it. All right, the horse in that, my favorite character in that. All right, she's taken back to the cell. All right, Yeah. I'm not sure that Monica is on anymore, but she definitely would have gotten the reference.
Yeah.
Okay. Considering she asked us for She-Ra stuff every show.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So she's taken back and she is being held captive. All right. And this is another time where you're getting more of David's story.
Yeah. The real David.
The real David. And he's even referring to like a lot of his true nature is coming out here.
Mm-hmm. It was so super creepy. He's got her caged up, and it's almost like he's trying to like seduce Ellie at this point. Even like it sounds like he's trying to wife her up, and it makes it so much more creepy.
He's even talking in the manner of like, we could rule together.
Yeah.
All right. Like this guy's a psychopath. All right. He's talking
among
about
other things. Yeah.
He's talking about how the cordyceps virus or infection is a good thing, and how it's loving. Even he refers to it as.
We have seen it being loving with the
with
cordyceps
Tess.
kiss. Yeah.
The cordyceps kiss. The
fungal French.
The fungal French. Yeah, I was trying to think of the other one, but like he's going off like everything's meant to be and stuff like that, and like it's just crazy talk.
Just hit super creepy for sure.
It's super crazy talk. All right. Meanwhile, Joel has awakened because they've come. One of the baddies have come down and they've found his spot.
Jail scene was super on point, straight out of the game.
Yeah. It was very, very good. And we'll talk a bit more about the jail scene as well, because there's more to talk about there.
Yeah.
But Joel's waking up because he hears the movement of the cabinet that's blocking the door and stuff. The guy comes down to an empty bed with some soilage on it.
I did have some people that I talked to that had some complaints about the fact that Joel is up and about. They were like, so unrealistic.
Okay, so this argument obviously can be made. Okay. Mm-hmm. Would you rather it take 7 seasons for him to get back up?
Right.
Or do you want to carry the story on?
Penicillin or antibiotics and stuff like that tend to work right away, but generally speaking, you get like a 2 to 3 day span before you're actually well enough.
We're also talking about somebody that probably gets hurt on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably has a pretty high pain tolerance by this point. And they're just like some of these people are hardened by the world they live in.
Also, I kind of made reference to the mother that can pick up a car that's on top of their child and stuff like that, right? Like we're seeing a Joel that now has somebody that he's considering a daughter at this point who's in trouble. So he has to get up.
Yeah, it's definitely a circumstance where that applies. Mm-hmm. And in the game, you definitely get the sense that he's hurting very bad. Mm-hmm. He's stumbling around and stuff like that, and he's sore. It's not like he's Superman right now.
No.
He's definitely a hurting boy, and when he takes that guy down, it takes all he has.
Yeah.
He falls down to the ground, and is it's taken all he's got to do it, right? Takes out a couple guys, takes a couple captive. All right. This
is a great scene too.
This is a great scene in and out of game. Mm-hmm. The game scene and this very close. And it's just a very powerful scene. Some of the stuff taken right from the game. All right. He when he gets the location and he has them use the blood pen. Mm-hmm. to mark the location there.
Yeah.
Right. Jumping. And then the pipe.
Yeah.
Okay. It's as brutal as it is, I don't know, like
the show version of this scene was way more brutal. Absolutely. Like,
I think that applies to a lot of the scenes.
They definitely went full hardcore. And I think, part of me that was waiting for like this Joel that's just taking people out and being just a savage about it.
The thing is that there's almost a calmness to him. Like there's a tunnel vision here where it's like nothing else matters.
No.
Right? Like you're going to give me the information. And like if you ever want to get information out of somebody, this is your handbook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do this.
All right. The pipe scene and what he says, like just like in the game and in the show is, he's like, I believe him. Don't worry about it. I believe him. And
the
then
kneecap, the kneecap peel with the knife.
Oh yeah.
It was queasy. Like that made me queasy.
Like if I'm glad it was so well done. I am so glad it was so well done. So back in the cell, he's having his little discussion with Ellie, and she finally sees the ear on the ground.
That was just as he was coming back in, because I think because she was almost getting out, right? Like she was unscrewing.
Yeah, she was doing some work on getting out for sure.
And then noticed the ear around the same time that David was kind of coming back in too.
And then he has that discussion about how without the cannibalism, his people would suffer. And now he is justifying it.
Yeah.
Right.
The creepy hand touch part of this jail scene.
Yeah.
Was gross. Like it was...
And we'll get to that in just a second. But at the very same time, Joel is making his way around and he finds the bodies hanging. And now he realizes that there's at the very least they're mutilating these people.
Are those blurred out?
They are blurred out. I did not do that myself.
Corpse bottoms.
We're not about that on this channel.
That's right.
All right.
Can't have.
We're not about corpse. We already talked about pipe earlier, so we had to blur that out.
That's fair.
Yeah, definitely. He's closing in on their warehouse now, and a picture that I forgot to put in. Is when he finds her bag.
Oh yeah,
in that little warehouse, right? And it's recognizable by her tag or her little toy thing that's attached to it, right?
Yeah.
And now he obviously knows she's there. She's definitely in trouble.
Yeah.
I've got a gung ho now. All right. But back in the cell, this is what we're talking about, is that creepy hand touch.
Yeah.
And she leads him on a little bit to get close.
Well, because I think she's just kind of really coming to the realization about what this guy's all about. So
yeah. And then she does the most wonderful thing. All right.
Look at that face.
Yeah. I find that like the emotion she brings to this role is just crazy good.
Well, a lot of this stuff, especially in this episode, I think is setting up for who she is in the second game as well, right?
Yeah, that's very true. I'm gonna act like I know what happens in the second game. I have to play or watch it still. But she snaps his finger,
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like it.
No, nobody likes that.
All right. I don't know why.
But they're gonna eat her.
Well, I mean, now he does the whole thing like, oh, what was it you said earlier?
Chop her up into little pieces.
Little pieces. So it's going to be hard for it to go any other way now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they get her on the table. All right, they're going to go do some choppies, but in the struggle, I get big. In the struggle, he gets bit.
Yes.
Okay, she shows him her scar, and she's playing the old.
Now you're infected.
Yeah. Which I can see being an effective tactic.
Oh yeah.
Right. James, on the other hand, sees it, and I don't know what his thoughts are in this moment.
Well, it looks like he thinks that David's infected. He might have to do something here. She's slowly becoming more brutal through the season. A lot of characteristics she has in the second game. Yeah, for sure.
So they're definitely gearing her up to be the person that she is to become in the second game.
Mm-hmm. Smart of Ellie. Yeah, absolutely.
She is no stupid kid. That's for sure.
Thanks for joining us, Teresa.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, in the mix of it, James gets his neck chopped.
Yep. Such a good move.
He's now unalived.
Yes. No more James.
No more James.
AKA the voice of Joel.
Rest in peace, James.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not in peace even. He was kind of a follower.
I mean, I feel like he had hope. There was hope for him, I think.
Like, you think he might have been an okay guy if David got out of the way?
Yeah. I'm not sure he was he wasn't a psychopath. He was just it was a means to an end maybe for him rather than like David, I think there was something sexual about it.
Yeah. A little extra.
Yeah, it was a tad extra. But she makes it off, and there's probably the best scene.
Yeah.
In the show, in this portion of the game, right?
The sneakies.
The sneaky sneaks, and I like how they have her sneaking a little bit.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, they do this scene really well. It was definitely solid.
It feels like the same place. It feels like the place in the game.
Yeah.
To me.
And again, that's something that they keep doing so well is
the atmosphere,
the world that's in the game, and just plopping it into the real life.
How do they do it?
Stunning.
It's stunning. It's almost like when they were making the game, they were like, okay, there's a place in so and so that looks like this. Let's use it.
Is this Alberta? I know a lot of the stuff was shot in Alberta. So
no, this is Silver Lake. You silly boy.
Okay.
This is Silver Lake. So they tussle, and it plays out quite like the game.
Right? Yeah, it does.
Ending with this is clearly a game show comparison.
Yeah,
and you can see how similar it is. I wish I could play a clip of this scene because the emotion in it.
Yeah, like when David has her pinned down initially on her back and stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
my emotions can't handle this show sometimes. Absolutely, just freaking out all
the
time.
That's fair. That is fair.
Oh, Teresa, you love the last episode then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the finale. And I have heard that the finale is going to be kind of shorter.
I don't know. I hope not. Like,
I can't
like I
remember
said,
what the
I don't want
runtime
it
they
to
said.
end.
No, I know. Give me like an hour and a half
Give
for
me,
the last episode.
yeah, I was gonna say give me a double episode, but I
Yeah.
think that's a bit much, right? But yeah, just the emotion in this. I don't know what I like better, the game version or the like. She does such a great job.
Oh, for sure. Like that stabbing, like chopping scene there, where she just lets out all of that rage that she's got built up, and the thoughts of like what this guy was gonna do to her. And
Well, yeah, because he was definitely, when he was on top of her, he was turning it sexual.
yeah,
You
oh,
know,
for sure.
like it was getting creepy.
Yeah, give me a movie. Yeah, I'd take 2 hours for the last episode, or for the last
No doubt,
episode.
no doubt. Give me a movie. You know, give me a movie that does the exact same thing as this show did, and I'll still watch it and love it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like this is a season I'll probably watch a second time.
Yeah, especially like once the second season comes out, I'm definitely gonna rewatch this one before I watch it for sure.
Yeah,
just binge it out.
So in the game, Joel pulls him off of her, or Joel pulls her off of him. In this, she runs out, right? This girl needs no saving.
No.
Okay. But just the embrace.
Yeah. And the baby girl was like what hit home for me. Because it's the same thing that he said to Sarah too, right? Like, and then showing the watch at the same time.
Like it's all
of that.
It's very, very symbolic. Right? Like it took 8 episodes, but Joel has now confessed his feelings pretty much.
See, everybody's going off right now here about the baby girl piece for sure.
Yeah.
Like
it has to be one of the most important things said in this series.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one line just pulls everything together and it sets up this season finale so well.
You know, just the horror in her face and stuff.
So she was trying to fight him off, like when he came to her, because she's still like just in full shock mode.
Not realizing it was him, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, just thinking it was another fucking creep bag.
Yeah.
All right, that was my one.
Where were all of the rest of the people?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a whole building on fire and nobody's
like, hey, the common hall's on fire. Right? See, we're so emotional.
Yeah.
Like, we're so good that Teresa has now started crying.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm gonna start crying because season finale is only supposed to be like 43 minutes.
Yeah, that's one of the shortest episodes of this series.
It is the shortest episode.
Okay. That is something to cry about. Yeah, they're out celebrating David's death. I think we can all gather that they all feared him.
Yeah.
And at the very least, didn't like him.
When you have to wonder, like, for that young girl, even, like, once you start seeing his character develop, you wonder about any of the young people in that community, too.
Okay, so I don't think we're going to get the giraffe.
I need me a giraffe.
Okay. I need the giraffe just so that we can talk about how it freaks Mitch out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Our friend Mitch. He's not a fan of giraffes.
I think it's their tongues mostly that he has the problem with.
All right. I don't think we're going to get it.
I don't think so. I think that's going to be one of those kinds of little pieces that they pull out.
You know, with the amount of time we have left, I don't think it's to them. It is a great scene. I just don't think that they're going to feel like they need it. You know,
they cut a lot of like really big scenes or like those kind of iconic scenes just to make room for.
If you're watching
the
on the
story.
replay, let us know is the giraffe scene important to you? How badly do you want to see it? What other things so far? I mean, and we'll probably talk a little bit about this on the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
But what sort of things did you miss? You know, that they didn't put in. What sort of things?
If it's throughout the whole season, because I think probably tomorrow or next week's show we'll probably kind of
we'll have a similar discussion about that. But I think you're right. There's a lot going on to cover in 40 some odd minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a key moment for this series because can you imagine them doing such a great job up until now?
Mm-hmm. And then just shit in the bed on the end?
Yeah. The high school bloater.
The high school bloater was really solid.
You know? Yeah, I can see missing that. I mean, we did get our bloater.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah.
I know.
I can see where you missed that.
And a lot of people are just missing, I think, the cordyceps in general at this point. So we're gonna have to have some solid cordyceps love for the finale.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, first off, that was a great scene, and I think we all kind of expected it. Okay, but if we let Laura continue on at this pace, we will not be able to end the show.
That's right.
So we're gonna have to cut her off.
Yes.
Okay. And I thought she said something about a cape at first. We need more capes.
Gotta have more capes.
We need more capes in this.
You know what they say? No capes.
No capes. You know, that'll be the death of you.
That's right. You get sucked into a jet engine.
Anyways, what do you say we close this one up?
Yes, sir. Bananas.
Imagine she had a mic. Why is it that every time we give her a mic, she doesn't talk, and now that she doesn't have one, she wants to?
Yeah.
All right.
Strange.
Guys, we're going to close it up here. We really appreciate you watching. We love talking about this show. Okay. We are going to be talking about the final episode that airs tomorrow. Okay. But we'll be talking about it next week. I'm super excited. Join us next Friday for episode 3 of The Mandalorian?
Yes, sir. It's coming out. So
much Pedro that, you know, I can't handle it, but I will. Okay.
You'll just force yourself.
I'll just, you know, it's awesome. He's taken over he's taken over TV.
That's right.
All right. Like always,
yes,
share,
yes.
Hit the where's that bell?
Where's the bell? Hit it.
Over there?
It's over there? I don't know. I think so.
It's normally over there. All the good stuff's over in that corner.
Yeah. Hit that thing.
All right. Yeah. Tell your friends.
Drop us those comics, Instagram, all of the comments.
You can drop the comics too. I'll take the comics.
Will you?
Yeah, you know me.
Okay.
I mean, look at my background.
Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. That's 2 of the big spots.
Yeah. Go ahead and you know, leave a comment, and you could possibly win a hand-drawn picture of a clicker drawn by Grimm.
Yeah.
All right.
Incredible artist.
He's one of the best.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I just want you to have to do that.
Sounds great. All right, guys.
All right. You know we love you. Take care.
Peace out.
Peaches.
Love.
Peace. Oh, I'm not ready.